Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses. Today I got a little topic for our Friday philosophy. And this is something that I've heard this story before. And, got some truth in it. And anyway, I think people can take it too far. And so I kind of want to go over that today. And I've read it to some people and they were in pretty much agreement with it. So that actually was a little bit more alarming to me. So hopefully this will kind of help your critical thinking skills, and when you hear a story or somebody tells you something, I like to just think of it from both sides. I kind of take both sides and then I kind of figure out kind of what I agree with and what I don't. So anyway, this is a little story. I'll read the story to you and then I'll tell you my thoughts on it. And it's called The Donkey and the Tiger. The donkey comes along and he tells the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replies, "No, the grass is green." The discussion became heated, and they argued, and then finally decided to submit the issue to arbitration. So they approached the lion. As they approached the lion on his throne, the donkey started screaming, "Your Highness, isn't it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "If you believe it is true, then the grass is blue." The donkey rushed forward and continued, "The tiger disagrees with me, contradicts me, and annoys me. Please punish him." The king then declares, "The tiger will be punished with 3 days of silence." The donkey jumped with joy and went on his way, content and repeating, "The grass is blue, the grass is blue." The tiger then asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me? After all, the grass is green." The lion replies, "You've known and seen the grass is green." The tiger asks, "So why do you punish me?" The lion replies, "That has nothing to do with the question of whether the grass is blue or green. The punishment is because it is degrading for a brave, intelligent creature like you to waste time arguing with an ass, and on top of that, you came and bothered me with that question just to validate something you knew was true. The biggest waste of time is arguing with a fool and fanatic who doesn't care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions. Never waste time on discussions that make no sense. There are people who, for all the evidence presented to them, do not have the ability to understand. Others who are blinded by ego, hatred, and resentment, and the only thing they want to be is right, even if they aren't. When ignorance screams, intelligence moves on. Now, there's some parts of that are true. I would say the part that's true is encapsulated in the last few phrases. When ignorance screams, intelligence moves on. The problem I have with the story is that the first part of the story I feel is very wrong. The things that happen have no excuse. The treatment of the tiger is inexcusable. So I agree that arguing with an idiot is it's not very efficient. It's not effective. It's probably a waste of time. And I agree with that. I try not to argue with people that will not use logic or will not see logic. So I agree with that. The problem is when they say, we're going to punish the person that's speaking the truth because he's arguing. I mean, I'm the first to admit that arguing with an idiot's a waste of time, but it's not punish-worthy. It's not worthy of any punishment. So silencing somebody because they're doing something that's a waste of time, that's not okay. I mean, there's lots of things that are a waste of time. Facebook, movies, video games. There's a ton of things that are a waste of time. We don't punish people for wasting time. That's maybe a topic for another things. Should we? Because, time is probably one of our most valuable possessions. And so it's probably should be treated with some value. But, I don't think that if a person wants to waste his own time that, we should punish him for it. And especially when he's speaking the truth. We go to those in positions of authority or power, because we want them to speak the truth. We want to know what's right. So when the person that's in charge says, I'm going to punish the person that's saying the true thing, and then let the other person that's telling the falsehood go, that's a recipe for disaster. You're asking for a civilization that is headed down the wrong hole in a hurry. Like, you let that go on for very long, and you will not like the result. One of the things that I found was when the donkey was either ignorant or just wrong. Maybe he was mistaken. But he goes to the king, and now he presents his case, and then he wants the other side to be punished, which the king does. And now he goes free. Now, not only is he continuing, he doesn't get corrected. The king doesn't say, well, unfortunately, you are actually wrong. The grass is actually green, and that's the truth of the matter. But now, when the donkey is going around saying the grass is blue, if anybody contradicts him, now he gets to say, the king agrees with me. And if you don't agree with me, I'll get you punished too. Like, that's a precedent that frankly is ridiculous. I mean, but the problem with the story is it kind of weaves its way through there and then kind of banks us around a little hook and brings it back to something that's somewhat resembling truth. And then people go, oh yeah, I agree with it. And they don't think back on the story and the implications that it's going to take. So anyway, just something that I had heard that story and it never really sat well with me. And I thought, that we probably shouldn't let stuff like that permeate the prevailing narrative, because it's not a good way. It's not a good deal. And although I will agree, we shouldn't argue with idiots. There's a famous quote that said, arguing with an idiot is like mud wrestling with a pig. He brings you down to his level and beats you with experience. And so there's just, it's just not profitable. But to say that standing up for things that are true, you're going to get punished for, that shouldn't be the case. We should always be able to say, no, that if you want to believe that, that's fine if you believe it, but it's not true, and I don't believe that. And you should be able to speak your mind if you have a reason for it. You should be able to bring your facts to bear in the case, and you should be able to say that. So I don't think suppression of free speech is a good idea in general, and this is just another case in which they modeled the story in such a way that they really are trying to get across something that's not true, and we shouldn't go along with it. So anyway, just my 2 cents on the matter. Remember, we're all trying to be the person our horse deserves.